It's time for Upcycling Academy with the help of John Amabile and Laura DeBarra. We are going to help you make the most of the stuff that's just hanging about the house, really, and you've no idea what to do with it. So, what kind of storage are you thinking about, Laura, and can we use other things that we have in the house?
We can, of course. I think a lot of times when I'm working with clients, and like in both my books, the thing that strike a chord with people is storage is something that everybody, whether they're renters or homeowners, no matter what size the household is, storage is an issue for everybody because we're not really encouraged to use it as cleverly as we can. So if you're looking around your house and you're thinking, oh my God, I don't have enough space, it's usually that your storage system and the way you're storing isn't working. But you can use so many things to upcycle. You'll see like a lot of my videos are don't throw out your cereal boxes. You can make really cool hangers on the inside of your kitchen cupboards to store like your tea towels, long utensils. There's always a hack to be able to make the internal part of your storage work. But then that's fine for things with doors on it. What about the things that is exposed, like shelving and things like that? So I always say, before you go and buy storage or think that you need to save up for storage or you purchase storage that may not work, think about what you need to store first. And then you'll start to realize that a lot of your home has little bits and pieces that can help you store those items. So I even use like old wine bags and paper bags and gift bags to make my storage more streamlined. It's really easy, and you're just using upcycling things like in your home, old tea towels, everything.
See, you kind of alarmed me there, I have to say, Laura, because two words that you used, your storage system, I don't have a system, I could feel the rising panic, and then you used the word streamlined, and that really just sent me off the edge. I chuck things in a drawer, I chuck them wherever they are out of sight. If there's doors on it, it goes in there, whap, the door's shut. That's my system. So do I need to strip it right back to, first principles?
Well, you don't need to do anything that doesn't help you use it afterwards. If you like to just throw things in quickly and then use them quickly, it's easier for you then to set your system up to be based around things you use every day are in one cupboard at the front, rather than you having to rummage all the time. What happens after a spring clean usually, or when we're buying new storage, we don't think about how we use that storage every day, and we end up making more of a mess because we have this new kind of way going that doesn't work with what we're doing. So I think what you first of all need to do is think, what do I use every day? What do I like on display? What do I want disguised? And what do I just not have enough space for? And I think what a lot of people think they need is a new storage unit, when usually they just need things inside the storage unit to help use that unit better. An example would be my hall cupboards. I only ever use from the kind of waist down because everything is to be stacked. So I put tension rods in there so I'm able to use above my head and go right up into the storage unit. And if you have, let's say, old cut-offs of MDF, which has now gone really expensive, so do not throw them out if you have them. You can easily put brackets up high in storage, up high in wardrobes, and make shelves. So you're using every single square inch of the storage unit.
Right, okay. I'm processing, Laura. I think we may be able to take a quick break to play our weekly game. Where is John Amabile? Where are you?
Well, you can guess.
No,
I'm actually in... I'm in Southern Goa at the moment. I know. You see, what was it, Ardrossan you accused me of last time?
It was a kitchen shift in Ardrossan.
No candlewick bedspreads out here. But the good thing about coming to places like India is because it's things, you see them recycling because of necessity, and they don't have the same kind of throwaway society as we have. So whilst I'm sipping my Diet Coke and watching people paraglide on the beach, I'm thinking, what will I do with those old plastic cups, those old plastic bottles? So it's about necessity here, but I loved everything Laura was saying there. It's got on to the end of it. But again, find out what you want to store. And I used to love nothing more than going through my grand's tins of buttons and old bits of jewellery, and it was just a great sort of treasure trove of things. So the container for me is all about good storage. And even if it's old shoe boxes I've covered in brown paper with nice labels on them to store old photos or letters or maybe old photographs of myself. I just like to have things looking nice.
I mean, it is a weird thing, isn't it? Because we will go to, that big blue and yellow shed, and we will buy storage boxes. And yet probably in our house, we have got, boxes that will do exactly the same job, but maybe, there's something that something else has arrived in or whatever. You see that as waste. And it's an odd thing that we do with our brains, isn't it? Oh, that's a storage box and that's to be chucked out. And essentially they're the same thing.
Mm-hmm. I think so, because I think they are the same thing. And I think we're all sort of formed into thinking, yes, it has to be from one of these fantastic places. It has to be like a plastic top-up bin. Now, if it has to be out in the garage for storage and it has to be waterproof, windproof, that kind of thing, I understand. But the boxes that things come in, and we are creatures of habit. So a bit like what Laura was saying, if you had like cereal boxes, those could be covered and split down the side, covered in brown paper, and it could be a really nice like filing system because you would see the end of them, a bit like those boxes you buy in the big store. So we're throwing away things to replace them with things that look like the things we've thrown away. Bonkers. Yeah,
I know. We need to sort of adopt a different attitude to things. Laura, if we're looking around the house and trying to sort of create new spaces to store stuff, where is a good place? Under the bed, seating? What do you suggest?
Sure. I always think anything, there's voids all over our houses that we don't realise. For example, you could have a door in a bath panel, for example, with underneath you can store products in there. There's also under beds, in the bottom of wardrobes, in the top of wardrobes, under shelving units, under drawer units. There's a lot of, if you just stand in a room and think of areas where there's basically just an empty space, it's super easy to then measure those and then see if you can get storage to fit it. And then you can just use things that you have around your house.
Yeah, always look for a void. John, I know you like something under your bed, don't you?
I do. It's I can't really say that on radio, but yes, I do. All of the beds that I put into show homes or people's homes now, and all my beds at home have ottoman storage, so it's basically a lift-up end of the bed. And if you have a double bed, you've got almost like 2 by 1.8 metres square for you to have linens. I know that some girls put all their shoes in them so they can see everything all aligned underneath the bed. Again, like what Laura's saying, look at spaces that fill the void. I lived my life in a void. Fill that void with usable space of storage, but my favourite has to be the ottoman bed. But another thing that I saw on TV recently, on another TV show that I don't always watch, is the underside of shelves, and they took jam jars with screw tops, and you screw the top of the actual top to the underside of the shelf, and then you twist the bottle part underneath, and it's not only really attractive, especially if you're a home crafter, you've got all your threads and buttons and jewels in there, but it's such an easy way to clear surfaces and actually looks really attractive in your kitchen. You could do a similar thing with spices. So look at areas that aren't so obvious for storage, like even not a void, but underneath shelves can really, really give you extra storage and can be totally practical too.
Yeah, I had a friend actually who was really into DIY, and he had his shed kitted out like that with all the glasses underneath, and he just unscrewed all the different kind of screws and nails, which was really practical, but it did look absolutely fantastic. Laura, just before we finish, I'm fascinated by you using an old shower curtain.
My favourite. I always think the back of our doors aren't used enough. And you can put something lightweight on them. And one thing I always find with clients is their bathrooms, and especially tenants as well that I meet through work, they want a non-permanent solution to storage in their bathroom. There's no surfaces. You need something waterproof. You need something that mildew won't grow on, and you need something sturdy. So you can actually cut an old shower curtain in half, hem the edges, then hem some pockets, sew them on, and then you have a door hanger that you can hang all your bits in. You can make it makeup, you can put towels in there, you can put toilet papers in there. All you need to do is measure out your pockets well once you know what you have to store, and you're upcycling something that would have gone in the bin, and because it's got a plastic element to it, would never have disintegrated in landfill. You're putting it to another purpose. Also amazing to make those to the back of your wardrobe doors to put in belts, hair straighteners, shoes, etc.
Yeah, no, it's a great one, that, because again, that is something that you would go to a shop and you would buy, you know, an over the back of the door hanger with pockets in it. And as you say, if you're handy at all, you can make one yourself with stuff that you've already got in the house, which is what this is all about. Laura, thank you very much indeed. John, really looking forward to next week's edition of Where is John Amabile? You better make
Tying
it
his back
good.
somewhere else.
Thank you. Speak to you again soon.